cousin's an estate agent. You know, he wears blue shirts with red tie as well. You reckon it's a uniform or something?
Yeah, probably.
Hang on, here we go. Who's who then?
Is that him?
No. That's Peter Yang. Trains at the same dojo as I do.
Right.
There he is. That's the bastard. That's our song. Where's the block? Think! Think! That's not so bad.
Used to do a bit of kung fu when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. What are you doing now?
Some little fact.
Yeah. Let's work the end of it out, eh?
Let's work the end of it out.
Yeah.
Simon, can I have a word? This Chinese business. It's all right, Ed has discussed it with me. I've told her my feelings, but, well, this is strictly off the record. Peter Harper, bit of a loose cannon. Better keep an eye on him. It's a bad business. But you do know what I'm referring to, don't you?
Yeah, I know, and Edna knows. I think that's the reason she put him on it. It happened 5 years ago. Time for him to put it behind him. Now, if there are chinks, excuse the pun, if there's an emotional problem, better he confronts it and sorts it out. She did it on purpose.
Well, emotions are still running very high with this Jake Brown business. My advice to you is you've got a potential risk. Harper suffered severe PTS after that explosion.
Thanks. And just out of interest, did any of the team come to see you about Jake?
That's confidential. They know that I'm here if they want to talk to me. Plus, of course, there's the Met's post-shooting support program. Oh, that includes you, you know.
Me?
Yes. You headed the operation, didn't you?
I've known a lot of Jake Browns in my time, Prof, but so far, I've never had to have a shrink help me deal with them.
There's always a first time. Usually one will crack. Question is, which one will it be?
Well, when I find out, I'll tip you off.
Bollocks. The mic's just not close enough. It's picking up all the peripheral sound.
I thought you said those things were sensitive up to 100 metres.
Yeah, they are, but there's too much rubbish in the way.
It's a waste of time if you ask me. Frankie's the only one who can understand what they're going on about. Sooner we get him in there, the better. You know, they don't even have the same sign language as us. What's this mean?
Ficky? You want ficky?
Number 6. Signifies the number 6.
Ah. Know what this means?
Sod off.
You know, they proved that passive smokers are at 25% risk of heart and lung disease.
Oh, here we go.
What, you giving up again, have you? I don't know what you're worried about. I mean, a long life guarantee's not really part of this job, is it?
Here we go. He's got visitors.
Right, now we've never seen a geezer in the overcoat before. But according to Harper, that's Peter Yang, Harsung's minder.
According to Harper, Yang is going to be Frankie's entry into the household.
He looks like one mean mother.
Harper? It's bloody nuts.
I'm talking about odd job. Hey, you wouldn't get me going in there. Then where is Frankie anyway?
Dentist?
I'm just going to fix the microphone into the existing cap so you won't look any different. Great little gadget, this. On trial from the States. Open wide. Do you floss?
No.
You should do. This will feel uncomfortable for a while and quite heavy. Try not to eat anything for a couple of hours. And no hot liquids. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Very good. Just stay still until they've checked it.
No, if it comes loose, switches itself off automatically.
You'll need to watch what you eat as well.
Well, I hope the Christ doesn't swallow it. It's worth 25,000 quid.
OK, that's it. Why don't you say you're on air?
OK. Our intelligence on Hassan goes back quite a way. Here he is in the UK in 1985. He was under investigation for black marketeering and arms dealing, but no charges were filed. He was then suspected of running an illegal immigration scam out of Hong Kong. In '93, 17 people died in an accident involving a road tanker that he was using to transport illegal immigrants via the old Silk Road smuggling route. No arrest was made, not enough evidence. Since '93, there have been various sightings. Russia, '94. Poland, '95. And last year in Amsterdam, where he was about to be declared bankrupt before he skipped the country. Okay, Simon?
Okay. Brian Ha-sung comes back to Britain from Hong Kong just under a month ago, and you'd think he was a different man. Question is, what's he up to that's proving so profitable? Illegal immigration's certainly not going to be making him the kind of money he's been throwing around for the last few weeks. The lease on this house was paid for in cash, no questions asked. 500 long one.
How much?
Now, this character here, don't know who he is, turned up yesterday for a visit. So far, no ID. We've asked NSIS International Division to see who he is. Have you any had chance to get anything off the audio tapes?
Not yet, they're still with the boffins.
What about you, Frankie? Did you get to listen to him?
Yeah, but I could only make out the odd word. I think they were talking about money.
Now, we should all be familiar with this guy, Peter Yang, Sanshu expert and a friend of Harper's.
He trains at the same gym as I do. I've seen him at a couple of tournaments. I know him to talk to. Useful contact. Like I said, he generally gets in. Oh, here he is. Oi, Chang! A friend of mine I'd like you to meet. Look, I was telling you about.
I hear you're looking for some hired help. I'm David Chang.
你識唔識講中文啊？
少少啦。
I expected someone older. Excuse me.
I've come all the way from Chingford for this. What do you mean I'm not old enough? You haven't even seen what I can do yet.
Then they went off for a drink. It's all in Lee's report. He's got an appointment with Ha-sung at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Good. Do you think he'll get in?
He should do. His refs are strong. We've given him triad connections, a near-as damn-it idiot-proof record of petty offences, with verification from lags he served time with, in case they check. Plus, he's got a sudden dynasty of a family that checks out both in Hong Kong and Shanghai.
Yes, but what I meant was, do you think Ha-sung will go for it? You know the man, I don't.
Oh, yes. I know the bastard. What we set up yesterday showed David Chang to be an arrogant git who doesn't give a toss. Ha-sung will love him.
Good. Thanks.
"5 years is a hell of a long time to stay so uptight about the man."
Yes, but it was his partner who was killed in the tanker blast.
Yeah, it was nasty. Have international ID'd visitor.
Yes, it's a bit worrying. Ha-sung's been seeing a General Ling.
Who?
People's Liberation Army of China.
Yes, who is it? David Chang, the same as last son. Okay, come in.
Isn't it just a business?
Must be weird, knowing that we're listening to his every movement. I think I'd feel a bit self-conscious.
That's because everyone would know how many planks you were putting away.
Is in.
Clear as a bell.
Do you know, I still don't understand how it works.
Well, same as our principal is a mobile phone. All right, as long as he doesn't eat any toffee. It spoils the reception if he swallows it.
So, can he turn it off then?
Well, he can't, but I can.
Joe, I hope he'll be all right. Tooth or no tooth is a bit like going into the lion's den, isn't it?
I don't think Miss Colley will be too pleased to find you listening in to all this.
You're silly. I'm classified. Who do you think summarises all the reports for her? It'll be me who goes through all those tapes as well, I bet.
I gather you are familiar with the British penal system. I need your services for a month or so, but you will be well paid. All your expenses will be met. I shall expect you to live in and be available 24 hours a day, if necessary.
Living in's no problem, but I'm not clear exactly what it is you want me to do.
Be vigilant, be quick-witted, ruthless if required. Peter tells me you were very keen to get to meet me. Why was that?
I need a job, Mr. Harson. I got a big family to provide for. You need protection, right?
Not for myself, but for a friend of mine.
I don't handle guns. I'm a martial arts man.
Peter is a martial arts expert.
That makes two of us then.
You ain't got an aspirin, have you?
Nope, never use them.
Jesus, I'm knackered. Every time I think I'm just about ready to fall asleep, I see him lying there on that stretcher. You know, the last thing he said to me was,
Oh man, I'm dancing.
Can't get it out of my mind. It's just so...
You saved my life. First job we did together.
Why the hell was she allowed to have a gun in there?
Nobody knew anything about
Yeah, well,
it.
we should have known about it. Jake's dead, and we've just stood there and watched it happen.
You mustn't blame yourself.
Yeah, I'm not blaming myself, pal. I wasn't working.
And I was. You think I don't care? If it wasn't for Jake, I'd either be dead or holed up in a crack house somewhere with my life down the toilet.
Anything going on out there?
No.
Got myself crying, talking, sleeping, walking, living dog. Gotta do my...
I think Harsung's got a karaoke machine.
How long's that been going on for?
Well, they cracked open the beers about 7, so it's been a good 3 hours.
Oh, that's bloody marvellous. The only person we've got who can speak Chinese is drunk and giving an excruciating impersonation of Cliff Richard.
Living dog. Oh, going on a summer holiday. No more working for...
We have movement.
Yeah, as long as it's not his bowels,
Something's going down the day after tomorrow. Special delivery for General Ling coming in at Harwich Docks in a cheese van.
Excuse me. Right back to the party. Sorry, I can't take any requests.
Speaking of it.
Come on, we haven't got all day. What are you doing, Meryl?
We're having a collection for Jake Brown's kids, sir. I thought it would be a good idea.
Collection?
Yeah, he was separated from his wife, but he had 2 boys.
I didn't know he had any kids.
Now is not the right time, Meryl.
Yeah, it wasn't a good time for Jake either.
So,
I'll collect it later, then.
maybe we should clear the air, just talk about what happened to Jake.
Give me the envelope, tight-fisted bastard.
Outside.
Let me talk to him. Simon, what is your problem?
I'm not the one with a problem.
Oh, come on, right now, we've all got one. Jake Brown. I didn't even know he had kids.
Did you know I had kids? I've got 2 kids. I don't know what you've got at home. I don't want to know what any of you have. Our job is not about playing happy families.
He is dead, for God's sake.
Any case we're on, any undercover operation we undertake means one of us could go down. That means it is imperative we give 100% attention to the job. No foul-ups, no attributable blame. Anyone with a problem with that should take it to the relevant department.
They were only trying to get a collection together.
Not during a briefing. Let them do the hearts and flowers in their own time. They're wound up enough as it is. I cannot afford mistakes.
So you admit there was one?
No. I'm just looking out in case there's something that might lead to one.
All right, point taken. Sorry.
So am I. I miss him too, you know, Jane. Just like everyone else.
I'll get on with the briefing. Okay, everyone, let's get started. D'Souza, get the lights for me, please. Okay.
Now, Frankie Lee seems to be doing all right. Ha-Song checked out his cover and appeared to be satisfied. But there isn't much privacy. There's somebody with them most of the time. Not only are we listening to his every breath, they are as well. And he's sleeping with Peter Yang, so he doesn't have much opportunity to update us. Most of the time they're speaking Chinese. There are 2 daytime staff who don't speak English and 3 live in. Yang and 2 other men, Andrew Wu, who speaks some English, and Eddie Chuk, who doesn't. They are armed. And one of them does a daily security sweep of the property. There's been no face-to-face communication with General Ling since his first visit, but they communicate by mobile phone. Security's very tight indeed, but at 6:15 this morning, Frankie was able to give us a much fuller report. Whatever it is that's arriving tomorrow, it's of particular interest to General Ling.
Right, it's a legitimate company, Cameron's Continental Cheeses, specialist European import-export. They're booked on the 9:15 from the Hook, which docks at Harwich at 12:30 tomorrow. We got somebody keeping an eye on it for us.
Importation of dangerous cheese.
If Ha-Sung's got anything to do with it, it's a big deal. He's one evil bastard.
So, where does this General Ling fit in? What's he doing? Feeding his troops cheese?
Shut up. Peter van der Valk.
He's on telly, isn't he?
Would you just shut up and concentrate? Peter van der Valk of NSIS International Division has got us an ID on the driver/courier named Terry James. A couple of minor offences, but his brother was recently convicted of importing heroin in a consignment of sandals from Turkey.
Are we expecting a drugs connection?
We don't know what to expect. Could be drugs, could be arms. But that's why we're keeping an eye on things on the ferry. Whatever's in it, we want to get a look in that van before it gets to Ha-Sung.
Got to Romeo 5. Tulip maintained eyeball throughout. Subject made no contact on board.
Come on, man, if everyone just chucked their shit out the window, we'd all be wading through crap.
Listen, if you don't like partnering up with me, then just say so. Better still, I'll get shifted. Anything better than listening to you going on and on about the same one. Romeo 5, go ahead.
Romeo 5 from Tulip. Subject 1 remains with vehicle apart from a brief trip to the cafeteria for a hamburger.
Is what?
A hamburger? Subject 1 is still with the van. I think we'll be arriving soon.
Okay, the guy's done his job. Now it's our turn. Have you got eyeball?
Yes, target vehicle is heading into customs. A white Mercedes van, reg Papa 645 Yankee Tango Hotel. Customs boats have been really great. We've got full cooperation.
Yeah, only took 3 hours, roughly.
Only 3?
I've done Belgium, Germany, Switzerland last few weeks. It's just a small family business, that's all. Specialist cheese. And got to go down to Somerset next, pick up some little cheese or something. It's what frogs like, apparently. So what are you a lot doing then? You checking the temperature, is it? Because, I mean, it should be okay. I whacked it up before I drove on.
So, first of all, it was Sanders. What's he done now? Come up with an idea for injecting cheese with heroin.
Oi! Come and have a look at this.
Is he alive? God knows who he is. He won't say a word, and he was practically frozen solid.
What about the driver? Do you think he even knows he had someone on board?
Well, if he did, he's been extremely cool about it.
What does you say?
Let him go on his way. I'll follow him. Plus, we'll have a trace on the van, see what Hassan does when he realises he's lost his cargo.
It's a bit dangerous, isn't it?
What if the driver doesn't know? Hassan won't want to involve him.
Says who?
Hughes.
Let's hope he's got it right for once.
Things can only get better. Can only get better. Now I found you again. Can only get.
Thought he was
What,
dead.
this is a bad
Much
line.
longer
Look.
and he'd have got hypothermia.
Yeah, he's wrapped up in tinfoil.
Found out who he is yet?
What? We're still waiting for
Says
instructions.
his name is Roger.
Yeah.
Talks like an Ovaltine
Can you hear
actor.
me?
He's a freak.
Sorry? What?
I don't know. He doesn't look up to much.
Just
Keeps
find out
going
what
on
the hell
about his
they want to do with
granddaughter.
him, all right?
Yeah, the medic says he needs... Yeah, okay. Says we've got to take him to number 43.
Poor sod. No Nick's gonna have a go at him.
Things can only get better. Can only get better. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and
OK, we're all set. Only problem is I can't give you all the coverage at Ha Sung's and at the flat at the same time.
You should provide those chairs for your guests, you know. Anything on his prints?
Nothing's come in. We can have a go on mine if you want.
Oh, thank you. Tell me where they are now.
OK. There's our subject in the cheese van, and not far behind is... somewhere. Ah, there she is. Leyland. I'd say they'll be at Ha Sung's in about 15 minutes.
Where's the rest of the team?
There you go. This green dot is Harrington, McEwen, and the cheesy old man. Should be at the safe house in 20 minutes.
OK.
Pretty well orchestrated, considering the time I've had.
You're a bit self-congratulatory, aren't you?
No, we have to be in this place. Mine's a thankless task.
So, the red dot is the cheese van. The green dot is the old man. It's marvellous. Very good work.
I've got no idea. Customs were all over the van checking out the cheese, and they never said nothing.
It is not possible.
for a man to disappear into thin air, you understand? My associates assure me he was secure in the van when you picked it up in Holland.
I never even knew there was a bloke in the van.
You were expressly instructed to remain with the van at all times. So, Mr. James, what has happened?
I keep telling you, I don't know! I only looked in the van once and there was nothing in there except cheese like the last 3 times. All I was told to do was drive a van, right? I didn't know what it was you had in there. If I'd known you had a bloke in there, I'd have asked more money.
Did you leave the van?
No.
Don't lie, Mr. James.
Doctor should be here any minute. He's going to give you a full examination, and then you're going to have to answer some questions.
Did you hear what he said, Roger? Hey? I mean, that is your name, isn't it? Roger, hey?
I'm not deaf. I'm to be seen by another doctor. Very considerate. I would also like to know by whom I'm being held. Furthermore, as I have repeatedly stated, I want to talk to my granddaughter.
2 Song Stokes are in there, and by the sound of it, they're really laying into Terry James, the driver of the cheese van. I don't know who's listening to me, but I think they're going to kill him. Now, can't we do something?
Sounds like Frankie's getting a bit jittery.
Really? Ha-Sung doesn't think twice about killing. I wouldn't like to be where Frankie is right now, let alone the driver. You want to change places?
I don't speak the lingo.
What is it? Be perfectly like that. Told you that
He's
2 hours
giving
ago.
an inch.
Bloody hopeless.
Whoever he is, he knows what he's doing.
Found out who he is yet?
Can that doctor give him something to make him talk?
Coffee, everyone?
My name is Roger Henry Redfield. Please contact James Wilford of Wilford, Sturgeon Brown Solicitors. I believe he acted for my colleague, Anthony Blunt.
1964.
Is this guy for
This
real?
came for you.
Oh, what's that?
Results from the prints from our database.
The team are a bit worried about the driver.
Oh, that's the least of our worries. That verifies it. This is Roger Henry Redfield, defected to the Soviet Union in 1964. I was right. I thought he'd been left to rot.
What the hell's going on? That was Frankie. We got to do something. What's the matter with you? That was Frankie's voice.
Back off me.
Eyes on up. Sorting it. You hurt? I'm fine. I'm okay.
Turning into a bloody nightmare. Get Harrington and McEwen back from the safe house.
No, Chief wants someone who's Redfield round the clock.
Get someone else to babysit the old fart.
Like who?
I don't know. You're supposed to be coordinating this. You tell me.
Bastard.
Tony Kwok 係俾我值幾百萬，Natasha Howard 咧就可以帶到我身邊，但係個司機啊，踩佢班友仔啊，好似老餅咁樣，仆街冚家鏟，我俾錢你做乜嘢？
So you chose an unusual mode of transport to return to Britain. Why was that?
I want to talk to my granddaughter.
Why? You defected to the Soviet Union in 1964. I can't imagine you were that close to your granddaughter.
I didn't know anybody knew I'd gone. Or indeed cared.
We knew.
Really?
We let you go, Roger. And we'd like to know why you're back. Why didn't you apply for a visa?
Never been granted.
So you made a deal with Ha-Sung to bring you in illegally.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Perhaps this granddaughter's a figment of your imagination. Yeah?
They beat the driver up, but Frankie reckons he's okay, at least for the minute. They've got him locked up. No, he's got no idea, but get this. He overheard Ha-Sung and Yang talking about General Ling being impatient. He got the names Natasha and Tony Kwok. They seem to think that Roger Redfield is double-crossing them.
Well, Mr. Redfield, they seem to be wasting our time here. You say you don't know Brian Ha-Sung, but he's very put out that you double-crossed him.
My
I suppose
granddaughter's
you don't know who
name.
General Ling is either.
My granddaughter's name is Natasha Alexandria Howard.
Natasha?
She's studying geology at Imperial College London, and she's living in Byte Hall of Residence.
So you're going to tell us why Ha-Sung would be interested in us?
I've told you where she is. Why don't you go and ask her yourself?
So far, that's all you've chosen to tell us, and I don't like being dictated to.
If you think these people are dangerous, you must try to protect her.
Must we?
Let's run over this one more time, Roger. You say...
I think Edna knows more about Roger than she's letting on.
Doesn't surprise me.
Look, what is it with you lot? None of you are straight, not one of you. It's all bullshit. Hiding things, playing people off against each other. Makes me puke.
Old habits die hard, I guess. Always was paranoid business. That's why they called us spooks.
It's time you grew up and stopped playing silly buggers before someone else gets killed. Oh, Simon, don't touch me.
It was an accident, Janie, okay? Don't go down that road. Jake was just very unlucky, that's all.
No, we were set up from the word go. They knew. They weren't going to do anything to rock the boat. They... You know what the worst thing is? No one even talks about him anymore.
We got a trace on that bastard's granddaughter, Natasha Howard.
Hiya. Thanks, Kate. Anytime. Oh, Natasha, there was a call for you this evening. Some bloke said he was a friend of Tony Kwok's. What did he want? Nothing really. Asked if you were going to be around for the weekend. He wouldn't leave his number, so I guess he'll call back.
Okay, thanks.
After Gorbachev took over, I was made homeless.
What's for breakfast then? I'm starving.
There's muesli or something that looks like it in the cupboard in the kitchen. Might be porridge and weevils.
Oh, Jesus. No, I thought these places were supposed to be always constantly stocked up full of goodies. Who wants bacon and eggs then?
I haven't had bacon and eggs for years.
Your lucky day. See you in a minute.
Your move. You were saying?
Yes. Well, Moscow now is effectively controlled by the Chechens. The mafia economy is booming.
Hey, I forgot the keys.
Oh, be careful. Yes, well, that's the Chechens, realized pretty early on the value of property. So, they took my flat. They took the entire block, in fact. Anybody who didn't agree to move out just disappeared. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, no phone. But it was my chosen home, because I believed in communism. Now it's all over.
Why don't you stop playing the violins and tell us what you're really up to? What have you got, Roger? What have you got that is so important to Brian Ha-sung?
You mad? Look at me. No one wants me. There's no sinister plot, no deal. I'm of no use to anyone.
Your move. So what about your granddaughter?
I'm of no use to anyone except my granddaughter.
Shit.
Are they bringing her to me?
What you said last night, people cope in different ways, you know. It doesn't mean to say they don't care.
Like you said, Simon, let's not go down that road. Now, any more word on the driver?
God, you are hard work at times. No word on the driver. Harrington and McEwen are taking over from Harper and D'Souza. Edna wants Roger to sweat for a bit, so Burford and Green, who are taking over from Harrington and McEwen, have been told to stick to chatting about the weather, OK? You in the picture now?
Yeah, thank you.
The beer in a minute.
Why don't you tell us if your granddaughter's in danger?
I've told you where she is, for God's sake. If you think she's in danger, why don't you get off your fat black ass and go and get her?
You're an evil, small-minded bastard, aren't you?
It's evil that makes the world go round, old boy. I'm with Dostoevsky. He believed that it's the existence of evil that is proof of the existence of God. If the world consisted entirely of the good and the righteous, wouldn't be any need for God, would there?
Your move.
And the world would be a pretty boring place. God is because evil is.
God is because freedom is. Dostoevsky impresses in his analysis.
Impresses because he chronicled so brilliantly this conflict between good and evil.
But his analysis of Marxism exposed its inherent contradictions and limitations. You took a long time to come back to a capitalist country. You're very good at playing a double game, but I think I have you cornered, Mr. Redfield.
I think not, Mr. Harrington. Check.
You're trapped, Roger. You're not cornered. And your granddaughter was used as bait.
Point is, why? I've been living in Russia, not Hong Kong or China. And I've never even heard of this Mr. Brian Ha-sung. But I'm very concerned about his interest in my granddaughter. And I would prefer if he did not find her.
That's why we need to get there first, then.
Checkmate.
Message for you, Miss Howard.
Got a message from your grandfather.
I'm sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
We need to ask you some questions about Roger Redfield.
Yeah. He arrived illegally in this country, and he's claiming you're his next of kin.
You are Natasha Howard, Roger Redfield's granddaughter?
I am Natasha Howard, but I don't have a grandfather.
This is Natasha Howard. Bring her to me.
Snatch her.
That won't be necessary. Tell her Tony Kwok is in danger. She'll come.
I didn't lie to you. As far as I'm concerned, he doesn't exist. I don't understand what this is all about.
Freedom in the struggle for liberty. You been to China, have you?
No, that was given to me.
Well, Natasha, your grandfather's very keen to talk to you, so I'm afraid you're going to have to come with us.
Do you mind if I get dressed?
No. Do you know Brian Ha-sung?
No.
Tony Kwok?
No, never heard of him either.
Better get dressed, Miss Howard. I'm going to wait outside. You don't mind if Jane stays with you, do you? She's a policewoman.
Listen, Tony Kwok's name's been mentioned.
Hold on. Now, you're cutting out.
Tony Kwok's name's come up again in connection with the granddaughter.
I'm bringing her in. Hello?
What?
Our son's going for the granddaughter. Hello? Hello? I've lost him. Frankie's got an all-singing, all-dancing tooth, and the numero uno's back.
Get on to HQ, feed them the info, and find out what the hell's happened to Harrington and McEwen.
Hello? Hello?
You wiped you out pretty quick.
It was a fix. No way can you play 2 games at once like that. Roger Red.
Bad loser. You are such a bad loser.
No, I'm not.
Are on their way.
Egg, bacon, sausages, toast. Full English.
Yeah, when my granddaughter was in America, she couldn't get a decent bit of bacon. They burned into a crisp over that, you know that? Stella, not quite the same as Beanie's blueberry caviar for breakfast, is it?
She just tried to chuck these letters out the window. They're all from the States. Look at this postcard.
So, you've never met Brian Haar's son. You've never even heard of him. You've never been to Russia. You have no relationship whatsoever with your grandfather. You have no calls about him, nobody asking about your grandfather. Nothing at all, in fact. That's what you're saying, yeah?
That's what I keep telling you, yes.
Apart from a postcard a month ago saying he was hoping to visit. Now, why did you try to get rid of these?
They're private.
Natasha, why did you lie to us, eh?
He just walked out on my mum and my grandmother. No card, no explanation, nothing. I don't want to see him. Oh, I certainly didn't make arrangements to get him out of Russia.
Yeah, well, he's very keen to see you, Natasha.
Your grandfather, who you've never even met, came back 34 years after he'd defected, locked himself up in the top of a refrigerated van, almost killed himself, and you've no idea why he would go to such lengths to see you?
No.
Look, come on, we're wasting our time here. She's agreed to come in, so let's just go, okay?
After you.
We have Frankie Lee accompanying Yang, leaving Ha Sung's.
There's movement at Ha Sung's. They're after the girl. And Tony Kwok came up. Have a listen. You ever had blinis and vodka for breakfast?
Nothing like a good fry-up.
Tango 5, target's on the move now.
Yep, we're ready for them. Correction, I'm ready for them. Tony's worried about his hair.
You're the one that needs a weave, pal.
Oh, touchy, touchy.
Hello? Hello? What? Oh, bugger, this battery's low.
I've got a tutorial in 15 minutes. I'll have to tell my tutor.
Can I borrow your mobile?
She has to cancel her tutorial.
Forget it.
It was a joke. About the weave. Go for an implant. What are you getting so uptight?
Because I don't want any cock-ups this time.
Relax. We're gonna get this guy. Look, I know you've had something to do with our son in the past.
He got away. He knew we were after him. He knew it. So he fixed the tanker so it would blow. He just doesn't care.
Frankie's asking to stop so he can get toffees. Nearest shops are in the Finchley Road. Take a left, that's a left. Left off Finchley Road into Daleham Gardens and Park.
Will do.
Do you want anything from the shops? A regular Coke and have some of your toffees.
He's not supposed to chew sweets, is he? What about the microphone?
He's trying to make contact with us.
You know who Tony Kwok is yet?
We're still working on it. He's not known triad. We can't find a connection to Ha Sung. Interpol have drawn a blank and still waiting for the CIA to get back to us.
What about the girl?
There's no obvious leads. She's never been to China or Hong Kong. As for General Ling, still nothing.
Car's outside, just around the corner.
Can I at least leave a note for my tutor?
We'll come with you.
Yeah? Yeah? Hello?
Natasha, stop! Come on!
What are you doing? Natasha, I'm a friend of Tony Quarks. He's in trouble now. Get into the car. Come on!
What were you doing? I thought it was a gunshot!
Margoyles.
Where's Tony?
Come in, Miss Howe. If you assist, you won't get hurt.
What do you want?
Kim Soo Lee, your friend, Tony Quark.
It was luck, really. I thought I'd check through protected status.
Do you remember this then, Meryl?
Tiananmen Square? Yeah, of course I do. I went and held a candle in support of the students. I mentioned it to Mike.
Oh, mentioned it to Mike, eh? Fascinating.
I ran it through the system. Look who came up. That's our Tony Quark.
We know you spent 2 months in America at UCLA.
So? That's not a crime.
And you know Tony Quark.
I met a lot of people there.
Did you really?
I mean,
And who were you running away from?
I don't know. They were asking questions about my grandfather if he's tried to contact me.
Has he?
He sent me a card. About a month ago, but I didn't take any notice. I told them I don't know him. I've never met him.
We know you know Tony Quark. We believe you also know he was the leader of the student uprising in Tiananmen Square. Perhaps you have some silly romantic ideas about him, but Miss Howard, you will tell us where Tony Quark is.